Welcome to Can I Kick It? My brand new podcast. My name is Alex Ray. I am been wanting to do this project for a while now. I was going to have a co-host. He'll be on here soon. His name's Kyler Shields. A lot of you guys might know him. You might know me. You might know that I have a somewhat sordid past, for lack of better words. But regardless of what everyone thinks or what people are going to think about what I have to say, this is going to be a really, not only a therapeutic project for me, but it is going to be a lot of fun, and it's a good way to learn outwardly. I spend a lot of time in my head. I'm sure a lot of people do, but in my case, I found over the years that the more I get things out of my head and put them in an actual tangible form, like talking, and you take it to the next level by making a video or audio recording. So in a way, I'm kind of just like look the world in the eyes and say who the fuck I am and what I think. And I'm well aware that I'm not always going to be right, and I'm always open. Or I'm going to try to be open to being corrected, or slightly adjusting my stream of consciousness, and try not to get too hung up on any set of beliefs or big points. Right now, we're experiencing a lot of political turmoil, even though Trump was overturned, and this country has a nasty tone about it right now. It's as if you can only be left or right, red or blue. And regardless of who's causing the divide, whether it's just the people or if there is a sinister force at work, some people think it's Satan. Some people think it's the military-industrial complex. Some people think the two are the same. Some people think aliens and demons and angels are all the same thing. I float around from idea to idea. Little background, I am 32, soon to be 33 on St. Patrick's Day. I was a philosophy major in college, didn't have the best high school record, was actually expelled a few times throughout the years, all the hallmarks of the classic rebellious youth. I think that I've learned a lot. With a lot of mistakes comes a lot of lessons. I'm going to have a bunch of people that are friends, experts in certain fields. When I say experts, I'm speaking on a local level. These aren't people who went to Ivy League schools, but they're people who have something to say. So I'm going to give them a place where they can come and talk about this, and maybe it'll be entertaining. Maybe it'll be informative. Maybe it will inspire you to do something outside of coming home from work, especially in this shitty weather, and sitting down and just turning on a movie. Maybe a lot of you guys know of me. This is something I've been thinking about lately. Maybe a lot of you guys just know of me. You see my Facebook persona. And, personas are interesting things because I even get wrapped up in it sometimes about, who I am on Facebook, on a Facebook presence. That's not the real me. I'm a different person from one day to the next. I think everyone is, and I think that's what's so alluring about podcasting, or video blogs or whatever you want to call it, is that you get to see real conversations between people. You get to see, literally in real time, see people change their perspectives and ideas. If anybody's seeing this and you're interested and you want to come on and just talk on the podcast, I know this isn't gonna get me famous, or it may not even become that popular, but I'm going to keep doing it anyway. If nothing else, my older self, me in 10 years, will be able to look back at some conversations I've had with some people. Maybe it's like a video journal. I have a lot of real journals. I've got books for days. I just got this cool new journal. This thing's pretty sweet. It's got little latches on it and stuff, if I can get it right. Pretty cool, man. I like it. I've got hundreds of these things laying around, poetry, writings. Uh, Sometimes I might have somebody on to play a song that they wrote, or might have some people come on and talk politics. I'm not, just, fair warning, I'm not a politician. Earlier today, I don't know why, but I've been kind of thinking about what I actually do believe. And so I spent some time thinking. When I work, I run this robot, and I have a lot of time to listen to podcasts, and music, and sometimes like lectures. I'm kind of interested in Wicca and Buddhism and a lot of self-help type of stuff. Jordan Peterson, some pretty interesting stuff. But I've been kind of trying to put my ideas in concrete so I know where I'm at and I know what I don't know, or at least I know what I think I know. I learned a lot when I went to college for philosophy, and I learned enough to know that I don't need to go to college for that. I dropped out of college, was arrested. I've got a pretty bad history with drug use, which I've been clean for over a year now. Been doing really well. Finally able to kind of figure out who I am. But I dropped out of college and went hitchhiking around a little bit, hung out with some punk rock kids, some street kids. Dabbled in music here and there. I'm not the greatest musician, but I do write my own stuff. Yeah, I feel like I've got a lot to say, and this is sort of just an intro heads up to let everyone know that this podcast is coming. And if you have any ideas or you want to come on, message me on Facebook. It's Alexander Ray, Olexander Ray. If you have any ideas, I think I'm going to have some segments where we go from topic to topic and we talk about. One segment idea I had was to talk about, sort of spotlight different religions and maybe sex inside those religions. Maybe have a little music segment. And then we might just clown around. We're going to let it grow organically. So heads up, the podcast is called Can I Kick It, which is from a tribe called Quest, a rap group I really have come to love over the past 5 or 6 years. So can I kick it? Let me know, y'all. I spent a lot of time after I dropped out of college jumping from drug use to drug use. Done a lot of psychedelics. Been involved with NA and AA, although I can't really talk about that a lot here. Always open to talking to somebody who's going through a struggle with drugs and alcohol. I don't have a lot of judgment towards people who are on drugs and alcohol. People are on drugs and alcohol for a lot of different reasons. Some people are running from trauma. Some people won't make it. They're going to die. And that's a reality that I've faced firsthand several times in my life. I have 2 children, so I'm a father. I have a perspective to offer on that. I'm generally a wholehearted, kind person, but I've been known to fight. Did some boxing, some Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. I like to fight. I hate to say it. As I get older, it's not the most feasible idea, but there's power in anger, and there's power in letting your anger out. But the thing about it is it's an illusion. It's short-lived. It's an illusory sense of control that just doesn't really last that long. It often leaves you hollow and wanting, which is a lot like drugs. I think emotions are a lot like drugs. They must be balanced and moderated. Just like food, even exercise you can overdo that. It becomes your whole end-all be-all. You just got to consider, of all your obsessions and fixations, what's the lesser evil of your obsessions? If you're obsessed with exercise, you're getting healthier. So that's better than doing crack, per se. Um, I suppose a lot of this podcast will be anecdotal. Whenever I can't find a good guest or a topic, I might just talk about stories of my life. About how I got to places I got, people I've been in love with. I'm gonna try not to get real specific, but I don't really have a lot to hide anymore. You know, I am who I am, and I'm okay with that now. So this is gonna be a growing experience. Um, spent a lot of money and hard work. I try not to say I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of my time working. You know, doing something I don't necessarily want to be doing to make money, so that I could buy this nice microphone. Hey, sorry about that. I had a little bit of technical difficulty. I'm still figuring out this video editing software. So yeah, like I was saying, my money. I put a lot of money and time into getting the equipment together so that I could create this podcast. And this equipment is going to go to a lot more use than just the podcast. It's going to go to use recording my music. Hopefully I'll get better at that. I'm lucky and blessed to know some good musicians around Vincennes, Indiana that, and you know, people I met when I was in the Army, offer a lot of guidance, some mercy when it comes to my shitty acoustic songs. And I'm more about getting the message out in my music than the actual quality, although I've learned that if you want to get your message out in a decent way, you need to be a better musician. And in the times we're living in, you need to be a better recording artist too. And that is a whole nother art. It's nothing like just playing guitar. You have to learn about microphones, interfaces, RAM on a computer. I had no idea about that until about 2 months ago. So I'm learning you need at least 8 gigs of RAM to run a decent, you know, podcast or recording equipment. I'm just using a crappy recording program called Audacity. But you know, I used to keep from doing this, and what kept me from doing this for the longest time was I kept telling myself little, you know, checkouts like, oh, you don't have the money, you know, you'll do it when you're in a better place financially. And you know what? I just had to grind and get that money and get my shit together so that I can sit here and actually do it. And it doesn't matter how good it is, because I'm going to get better at this. I'm definitely going to get better at this. I bought a nice microphone for $130. It's called a Yeti Blue. And a shitty $15 webcam, which I'm going to upgrade that pretty soon. I've got a couple decent guitars, and I know how to play guitar somewhat decent. I bought a MIDI controller, which is a synthesizer, so that's going to be cool. So back to my background. After I went hitchhiking, I found out my dad was sick and he had his legs amputated, or one of his legs, and they ended up having them both amputated. So I decided that I needed to do something with my life instead of fucking around doing drugs and getting in trouble. So I went to the Army, which anybody who knows me growing up, I was sort of a hippie. I don't even know how I feel about that word anymore, but I was sort of a hippie-ish kind of person, kind of anti-government, anti-big government. Growing a lot since then. I'm not so two-dimensional now, I like to think. But I went to the military, and I had a lot of great adventures there. I jumped out of some planes. I was a paratrooper. Met some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. Lost a few of them, actually. Not in combat or anything. Hopefully some of you guys are watching this. If you're there, workhorse, I love y'all. So I've got a broad range of experiences, and I'm pretty personable, I think, when I get to talking to people. I think some people I'm going to have on, I'm going to try to get my buddy Justin Hatcher to come on. This dude's a hoot. Might have Jerry Lee come on and play some music. Kyler Shields is my main dog. He's going to ride. We're going to have my buddy Andrew Welton on, talking about what it's like to be a new dad. Augie's close to a year now, I think. His son, August. Probably going to have my kids on just for a little comic relief. My daughter likes to sing, so that'd be cool. you never know. I know a lot of people in this town. I hate to say who I'm gonna have on, and then they not come on, so I better shut up. But so I went to the Army. I was mostly stationed out in North Carolina, Fort Bragg. Uh, I had a lot of drugs done out there. Fell in love a lot. I've always been sort of a hopeless romantic, I've been told, and let's just be honest, a little bit of a hoe. So I met a lot of girls, and I fell in love with every single one of them. And looking back, I really did love them all, you know. And some of the most intense emotional experiences of my life, and I thrive on these still to this day. I've kind of calmed down. I'm more of a realist now, but were, you know, in intense situations where I was in love and the ups and downs that come with that, especially when you're using drugs and stuff. Oh my God. Different types of people I've met, fought, loved. This is going to be really cool. I'm going to cut it short for now because it's already running at like close to 20 minutes, but I hope you guys enjoy it. If this isn't for you, it's fine. Feel free to tell me if you don't like it. I don't care. So thanks for listening if you made it this far, and I hope you enjoy Can I Kick It. I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. I love y'all. Talk to you soon.